Alrighty guys, welcome back to my channel. You guys probably noticed that some things have changed. For instance, I got a new camera. Yay, finally, it's like the camera I've been wanting. I also changed the lighting. I also have a microphone. Testing. So yeah, so this is new, so hopefully you guys can hear me a little bit better. Not that you couldn't hear me before, but you know, we're making upgrades over on the Maya Blanca YouTube channel. So for those of you who do not know, I am now using a Canon 80D. I leveled up, so really excited about that. It also took me a very long time to set it all up, so I hope everything looks okay. On my end it looks okay, so I hope you guys are happy about some of the adjustments that we've been making. So I obviously haven't sat down to do a makeup video in quite some time. For those of you who do not know or who didn't watch my last video, about 2 weeks ago, my best friend Jamal was shot and killed in a hospital that he was an inpatient at. So yeah, I've just been kind of trying to figure out everything and kind of figure out like what to do from here and all this stuff. And I guess like the main reason why I'm doing this video is because makeup brings me a lot of joy and a lot of happiness. So I want to do my makeup today as kind of therapy. What's going on in the world is just insane, and I'll talk a little bit more about it as I go on. I'm gonna do a little bit of makeup therapy because I need it. We're going to get started. So yeah, did I even do my intro? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Maya. So happy to have you join me on this beautiful day. Beautiful day to talk about some stuff. So yeah, anyways, it's been some time since I have sat down and done a makeup video. Because one, I just didn't think it was appropriate to do it in the climate that our world is in, especially like when everything started happening. The only reason why I'm doing it today is because this is kind of part of my, to tell you the truth, my therapy. Doing makeup really helps me calm down, and to tell you the truth, I haven't done my makeup in some time. I've just been posting a lot about just really, you know, things that I feel like are important to post about. And I didn't really think at the time that putting up something about makeup was really like relevant right now. In my head, I'm kind of thinking, okay, I want to at least do what makes me happy, you know, for the most part. And what makes me happy is, you know, doing YouTube videos and kind of, you know, not so much talk about the makeup, but just talk about like everything and how, you know, just things are going since everything started happening. And obviously my last video, it was just like one of those things that I felt like I had to talk about. Like I just had to talk about what was going on with Jamal and with, you know, all of that stuff, because, you know, that was my best friend, and that was, you know, so I felt like I had to put that up. And that, you know, may have gotten, you know, some not so good reviews or what have you, because people don't like talking about uncomfortable things. I'm quite literally the opposite. I talk about uncomfortable things all the time. If people get uncomfortable about me talking about how my best friend was murdered and how, you know, he was a black man trying to get mental health help, and he was murdered less than 24 hours while in the hospital and people get uncomfortable by that, then you don't have to watch it. But also at the same time, like, that's my life, and if you want to ignore that that happens to people, that shitty things happen to Black people, then you're ignorant, and you are essentially feeding into the, you know, oppression that the United States has put on Black people. And for instance, I had a girl on Twitter, and I have no problem exposing her. Honestly, you guys would probably go on my Twitter and see me going back and forth with her, but this woman, not a woman, she's a girl, let's be honest. She literally had the audacity to say, oh, you know, trying to say some stuff about how, you know, those security guards were, you know, trying to protect themselves, yada, yada, yada. And it was the moment that I said, oh, okay, so every single time a psych ward patient kind of has like a mental break, which is what people believe Jamal had while he was an inpatient, they're supposed to shoot and kill them. And she didn't say anything after that, and then after that I blocked her. So she could have said something, but she was like responding back like like that, and then all of a sudden I said that and she was silent. And she had the audacity to say, I stand for Black Lives Matter. Sis, no you don't. No, you do not, because you're making excuses at this point that he was the angry Black man who was posing a threat to those security officers, so they were supposed to shoot him. And I said, okay, but there's protocols that weren't covered. There were protocols that were skipped over. You're telling me that every single time a psych patient has a mental break or, you know, starts becoming violent or whatever, that the immediate protocol is to shoot them? It's not, by the way. Would this happen, and this is probably a better question to pose, would this happen to your father, your friend, your best friend, your significant other who's white? Would it have happened if they were white? If you answered yes, then I'm gonna need you to click off of this video because you need to educate yourself. If you said no, it wouldn't have happened, absolutely it wouldn't have happened. To a white person? Come on. And it was the wording of the articles that originally came out about Jamal, like the first ones. And some of you may not know about them, they're not around anymore, like they got rid of them. But the very first articles that were about Jamal were commenting on his stature. He was a tall dude, okay? He was a football player, he was a lineman. That, I don't see how that's relevant when you're talking about a psych ward patient who was shot and killed in the face by a security guard who also ended up killing his partner. You know, I don't know how that's relevant. And then also giving just wrong information, like just like straight up giving the wrong information. Like that to me was shocking, how that even could be posted without even knowing the full story. But here's the thing, is they already did the damage. They already did the damage by posting that about him, posting incorrect information. And guess what? People are gonna read articles once. If you don't know him, maybe the first articles you read were about him shooting and killing a security guard, and then the other security guard ended up shooting him. That's literally, I mean, people read it once and then don't read it again. They're not gonna go back and follow up if they don't know him. The only reason why I did it is because he was my best friend, you know, and I was like, this isn't Jamal. Like, that's just not Jamal. But a lot of people wouldn't do that because they don't know him, or they don't care, or it's irrelevant, or they were just checking the news that day. It was immediately placed into the category of angry Black man. Angry Black man. attacking a security officer, and immediately when you put him in that category, what category do you put him in? A criminal. So this is the base so far. I'm just gonna go off camera and do probably both my eyes. I will be right back. So I am back. I kind of took my good old time doing my makeup. It's like not that super insane. I just did a small little halo eye. Next, what I wanted to talk about was, I think it's really important to also highlight how, I think it was like, however long ago, maybe it was like 3 weeks ago or something, three weeks ago or like a whole month ago, there was like that Blackout Tuesday thing. Oh my gosh, if it was not the most, like, the people that posted, and I know have like continued to post or had post prior to that, I was like, okay, sure, like they're just, you know, showing more support. If it was not the most telling thing on like people that just follow, like hop on bandwagons, it was insane. Literally, there were people who posted it that literally, like, I have witnessed them saying like racial slurs or making like racist comments. Just know that they are not anti-racist, and I don't think a lot of them agree with BLM or the movement. So when that like whole thing happened and there were people posting it, there were like people that I follow that, like, honestly, I don't know why I was following them in the first place. I unfollowed them just as a update. But I have no idea why they posted it. Like, was it to like hop on the bandwagon? Was it because it was trending and they wanted to look like they were, you know, woke, or they like weren't, you know, contributing to the problem? I don't know, but that was probably the most telling of the people who care but don't care. Like, they care enough to post that and like to post that one thing, but honey, if they didn't post anything else on any of their social medias, then you know that they just did it simply for that day, simply to, you know, show that they're supportive or show support for BLM. Like, honey. And majority of them ended up using the hashtag Black Lives Matter, when in reality that was actually clogging up the Black Lives Matter hashtag. So it was so ridiculous, because it's like, okay, now that Black Lives Matter is like trending, it's like there's protests happening and all that stuff, now you're like putting in the effort and wanting to post about it. That's kind of the luxury that white people have. They have that luxury of, you know, being able to be like, okay, wow, that was a lot of work posting that black square. How many of those people actually kept that black square? Oh, I would love to know. I posted that black square. I'm like, I'm good. I think I have done what I needed to do this year. You know, I'm on God's good list today. Like, you know, it's just, you know who the frauds are. You know who the phonies are. Caught onto the people that were, you know, I could just tell, like, you're doing this simply for the fact that it is trending, and simply for the fact that it is, you know, the cool thing to do. It's a cool thing to do to post about Black Lives Matter now. Like, oh, come on, you guys. Come on. But no, at the end of the day, that is the sheer, you know, privilege that white people have, is that you post about it one day, and guess what? You don't think about it again after that, because, you know, non-black POCs and white people, we have the privilege, sorry to say privilege again, I probably said it like 50 billion times by now, but we have the privilege of not thinking about it on a daily basis. We have the privilege of not worrying about being racially profiled or being called a racial slur or what have you. We have that privilege. And, you know, it's really amazing to me how many people will allow for shitty things to happen to black people. and know that it's shitty, like know that they're being treated poorly, they're not being treated equally, and are completely okay with it. They're just like, okay, well, what can I do? What can I as a single person do? There's petitions, there's GoFundMe pages, there's sharing on your social media. If you're sharing pictures of yourself, honey, you can share a article, you can share a post, you can do all of that stuff. Like, you just doing it for one day and then you post like a bajillion selfies after that, like, it's a pure disrespect for other human beings other than yourself. It is so clearly selfishness. It's so clearly just, you're like, Americans and like across the world, don't get me wrong, like racism is a thing all over the world. Like, yes. But it's like this feeling of like, if it's not happening to me, it's not happening at all. And that's where we fall into these constant problems, is like, you know, BLM starts trending, it becomes cool to, you know, support it. And then it's like, well, I did my part. Like, what else do you guys want from me? Kind of like mentality. Like, God, that was just so damn hard to be a good person for one day. I was posting about it a lot before Jamal, and you sure as heck are gonna believe that I'm gonna post about it now after my best friend was murdered. So, you know, to all of those who are getting annoyed or who are like over it, honey, this has been a problem that has been happening since literally the formation of the United States. Like, it was happening before that in other places, but it has been happening since the formation of the United States. It's 2020 and it's still happening. So do you think it's just gonna magically go away? Racism and oppression is just magically gonna go away now? Like, oh, because people are talking about it? Like, no, it hasn't. And it's not like, it's not getting any better. Like, even with the protests, there were people that were murdered at the protests that were black. By who? Police officers. Like, you're at a protest to protest police brutality, and yet you're seeing with your own two eyes, you know, or you're reading it with your own two eyes what's happening. Like, come on. Yeah, I hope all of you, at least from this video, will, you know, learn a little something about just, you know, educating yourselves and just being aware of something other than yourself and being aware of something other than what is directly affecting you. Because as a white person, a lot of the stuff that's happening in the news you don't know, you will never know what it's like. And you can try to understand, but you don't understand. You will never understand, because when you're born a certain skin tone, you will never understand. I sat here and talked about, you know, this stuff for however long I've been doing my video, probably 45 minutes. Never once did I talk about what I have experienced, what I've done. Look at my skin, y'all. I'm white. So why would I come on camera and talk about an experience that's not my own? Because I will never know what it's like to be black. I will never know what it's like to be black in America. What I do know is I know what it's like to be a woman, okay? I know what it's like to be the daughter of immigrants. I know what it's like to be Jewish. You know, I know what it's like to be, you know, have someone say anti-Semitic things to me. But those are the three kind of big ones. But at the end of the day, what's going on in the world, I will never understand. But that doesn't mean that you just lay down and allow it to happen. That doesn't mean you close your eyes and your ears to what's happening in the world and what's truly should be the forefront of every single person's social media. Every single day, everyone should be learning one new thing about what's going on. You should be learning one new thing about BLM. You should learn one new thing about updates on cases. if you just lie down dead and pretend like the world isn't, you know, a complete fire around you, then that doesn't mean you won't burn up with it. This is a societal issue. And if people continue to ignore and continue to act like it's not a big deal, or, you know, well, I don't understand, so I can't say anything. No, that's actually not the case at all. You can say something. You're welcome to say something. It's just if you choose not to say something, you are adding to the problem. And maybe people haven't told you that. Maybe, you know, your school hasn't told you that. You know, we were never taught in school to be good people. We were never taught in school to be active members of society. This is something that you have to choose for yourself. You can be as passive and focus on your boyfriend and your girlfriend and how tan you're gonna get this summer, or what you're gonna do, or going to the bars and giving yourself and your friends coronavirus. Like, you do you. Need to show that I will be a active participant in the society for the good. I'm going to actively fight racism. I'm going to be anti-racist. And I will sit there and I will uplift Black voices. Need to be supporting Black run businesses. You know, it's really sad to me, and I'm even, you know, guilty of this, is that now YouTubers are doing full face Black owned makeup. Jackie Aina did that, I don't know, several years ago, and I didn't do it. A lot of big YouTubers didn't do it, and obviously I've only been in YouTube for like little less than a year now, but I haven't done it, and I feel ashamed. Why haven't I? Why isn't that just a normal thing to support Black owned beauty brands? Like, why is it that majority of the makeup I just use is white owned? It's sad that now it's taking, you know, what's happening in our society for us to be like, okay, let's buy Black, let's buy, you know, from Black owned brands, let's do this, let's do that. Like, it's so sad to me that it's taken this long, and I feel responsible as well, because it's not like I was going against the grain and, you know, doing a full face of Black owned makeup, but, you know, I also don't think that that this certain type of situation should, you know, open up people's minds to being like, oh, I should support Black owned. We should have been doing that. We should have been, you know, having Black owned beauty brands in our makeup, you know, routines this whole entire time. It's just the truth. And, you know, you can have your Fenty Beauties and you can have your Pat McGraths, obviously, but I'm talking indie, you know, small Black owned beauty brands. I recently bought from a few, so I'm just gonna name them off. So I bought my lashes, let me just find the name of them. Luxe Culture Cosmetics, and I will link in bio. This is what their website looks like. Super cool. I mean, their lashes look gorgeous. They have silk lashes, which I'm super happy about, because y'all know I do not use mink lashes, and please don't. You know, just for me, just don't do it. But you guys, look at these lashes. Gorgeous. I think I got these too, so I'm waiting for those. And then I got some lip products from Mented. Let me just pull up their website. I love, I am too light for their complexion products, but Jackie Aina, if you are my skin tone and darker, I think you could probably find a foundation on their website, but their foundation seems really nice. Again, it is made for kind of my skin, darker than my skin tone and, you know, darker. So this is their website right here. It's called Mented, so like MENTED Cosmetics. I ended up getting some lip products from them because I heard really great things. Ace Beauty. That's their website right there. And I got, I think, one of their eyeshadow palettes. I got this Quintessential. I think that's so cute. And I actually saw this on quite a few YouTubers. So look at that. It's so cute. I love it. So I have in recent days bought more products. I also really highly recommend Beauty Bakery. Really, really like Beauty Bakery. And there's quite a few others that I can list down below. But again, it's like, we should have been doing this, but I mean, at least people are doing it now. Then there was also this other app that I saw, and it's called Eat Okra. It's called, the name of the app is EATOKRA. So it's find your local Black-owned eateries with Eat Okra. So I highly recommend also downloading this app. I think it's really cool, and like you can order it from Grubhub, which is super awesome. We love that. This is the final look. Some of you may think this may not have been that much of a therapy session, but you know what? I feel pretty good about myself, so whatever you guys feel, that's on you, not on me. But anyways, also I would really, really, really appreciate it if you guys could click on the info box below. There is both a GoFundMe page and a petition for Jamal. I would really, 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 really appreciate all of you taking the time to at least sign the petition, and if you can participate in the GoFundMe, I would really appreciate that as well. The GoFundMe page was for funeral expenses. His funeral has already passed, however, it will help his family financially moving forward with everything. And I will also have other information down below. So yeah, I really appreciate you guys taking some time to watch this. You know, I think that although a lot of my video was me kind of ranting, and like, obviously I'm passionate about this stuff. I'm passionate about not only, you know, I'm passionate about social action. I'm extremely passionate about Black Lives Matter and fighting systematic racism. It's just something that, you know, you may not see every day or experience every day, but it is happening. And yeah, I want to make Jamal proud. I want to make, you know, I want him to know that I will continue to fight for him and continue to fight for all the other names and faces and lives, you know, that have been taken prematurely because of this country's, you know, racism that is rooted so deeply. And I really hope that moving forward, this can be a conversation I can have on several of my, you know, videos, not just this one or not just my last one. You know, it's all fun and games, and, you know, makeup's great and beautiful, but, you know, there's bigger fights that we need to put our energy in moving forward. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Again, please take the time to sign some of the petitions down below. Obviously, a lot of people are financially kind of struggling, so I completely understand if you are unable to donate, but please share the petition, share and say his name. Jamal Williams. He was killed June 16th. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the content as well as the makeup look. I just really hope that you guys take the time to share this video, share my previous video about Jamal, and you know, I know that he would appreciate it, and I know that he is still looking down, and he always will. So I love you, Jamal, and I love you guys, and I will see you at my next video. Bye.